This weekend, the NBA is investigating Oklahoma City Thunder basketball player Josh Giddey for an alleged improper relationship with an underage girl.
Yeah, that's right. In a now deleted post, a social media user said a girl seen with Giddey in pictures and videos was a high school junior at the time. At a team practice on Friday, Giddey did not comment when questioned about the allegations. The Thunder drafted the 21-year-old basketball player with a first-round pick back in 2021.
This right here, I can tell you now, this can go down really bad for Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is a very good young player. I think he's highly skilled, highly underrated as well. And I think for OKC, he's what makes them tick. Because even though the SGA is is balling out of his mind. I mean, he is cooking really. I mean. And Chet Holmgren is getting looked at a lot, because this is basically almost like his first year playing because he got hurt last year or something like that, I believe, in Summer League. And this is really the first that we've seen of Chet Holmgren, and he looks pretty damn good, too. So I can't really say, nothing negative about him and his young career so far as well. But Josh Giddey is really kind of like the guy that really makes them tick, as I said, because he's the guy that gets all of them in rhythm. He's a good passer. He can score a little bit himself. He can knock down a three. He will, put his effort in on defense, and he'll get some steals. He'll surprise you and, cause some turnovers. He is kind of lengthy, what I'm saying? But this situation here that he's involved in right now, he might have used his length in the wrong situation, but there's allegations, of course, out, with this teenage girl. Now, the consent, of course, I think is 16 for most states in regards to, the sexual consent. I'm not going to say law, but, how that goes. I'm not 100% how that is. But, this girl is, based upon the reports, she's around 15 going on 16. Now, that could just be reports that might not have any validity behind it. We don't know specifically, of course, unless we knew her for some reason, but we don't. But either way, this looks really bad on him because now the NBA is investigating it. And, when you hear it on the news about something like this and, it's all over the internet and it's viral and things like that. And there's pictures and stuff like that out and her saying that, she'd had sex with Josh Giddey and all this type stuff. And he's basically co-signed it. It only looks one way. And I can say this is disturbing to, probably a lot of people, within his organization, his camp, simply because, this is something that can, put a stain on his career. And you never know what allegations are going to come out even more. It could turn into a situation like very, very bad. I mean, if things get too hectic or something like that, or, things get a little tight for some reason, that girl could say, oh, well, he raped me. It could turn into something like that. And she could say, oh, it wasn't consensual or whatever the case may be. So these are these kind of like thin lines that I always look at, or that we've seen in the past before, with certain players, that is like, it can really change your career in a very, very bad way. And if you get through it, it could change your career in a good way because, if you get past it and play well and start winning and look past get past the immaturity in your life as a young player and go out there and, hoop and just, maybe win a championship or something like that, it all goes away, but it could tear you down if you let the media tear you down and things like that. And it could be a stain on your resume for a long time. And hopefully, with Josh Giddey, hopefully he gets past this. Hopefully he gets past it. In a good way, because, like I said, it could really turn negative against him. And I don't know what the NBA is going to do in regards to that, but they're going to do something, of course, because it makes the NBA look bad. And one thing about organization like that, association like the NBA, they don't want to look bad. They want their product to look good as possible, and they want their product to be marketable. And for somebody like Josh Giddey, he's not a superstar caliber type player or anything like that, but he's still a part of the NBA, and he's a part of a really good team right now, a team that I think that's ascending more than what even some may even be speaking about in the OKC Thunder, but the NBA has to make an example out of him more than likely. So, I mean, if I had to take a guess, they might give him a few game suspension or something like that, pending on how the allegations turn out and the whole situation turns out. And of course, we hear reports and things like that about. I've seen some reports about, possibly, Josh Giddey getting, sent to another team. It's all type of stuff going on right now. I mean, I heard that his Twitter and Instagram account. I've heard that he's made some changes. Shut off all the comments where nobody can comment on his page and stuff like that. I mean, it's all crazy right now for him. And this is a 21-year-old guy. What I'm saying. Really just getting his career started and things like that. And you have something like this over your head, already. It's really a crazy situation. And, a lot of people are speculating when you read some of the reports and articles and things like that, there is a possible chance that, he could be out of the NBA. Now, personally, I don't think that. I think that's a little far fetched, but I mean, I think will he possibly be traded to another team? Because OKC is looking into the situation as well. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the fact that he's, changing accounts and shutting down comments and things like that on Instagram and, trying to be as, incognito as possible and things like that. I mean, it really makes his case it makes his case not look better. You see what I'm saying? And, with a player like Josh Giddey, who's an up and coming talent, you don't need something like this on your resume right now. This girl is a minor. And like I said, you never know what can turn out the situation. She might go say something if the media or somebody tries to force her. Was it consensual? Did he really touch you in that way and you were okay with it, or was it not? And then, people around her, peers can, possibly tell her, hey, you can get some money out of the situation. He's got money. He's an NBA player. You can really benefit from this. So, I mean, Josh Giddey has got a lot to think about as a player and as a man, honestly, with this situation, because it could turn left really easy. And, more or less, it could turn into maybe nothing, maybe a settlement type thing if it doesn't go that far, depending on how her parents react to it. And you got to think about that and them too. So, I mean, it's like so much that can go with this situation, go on with the situation. He's really kind of in a bad, spot right now, if you ask me, because he hasn't really established himself in the NBA that much. OKC is ascending, but they haven't arrived as one of the top teams that people are going to have to really worry about year after year. Or maybe they're on the cusp of that. I'm not going to say they're not, but I mean, he hasn't arrived like a superstar in the league or something like that, or got himself well established in the league to the point where he done made a name for himself, and his household name is gonna override a lot of what could happen. Because RIP, Kobe Bryant, but we remember what happened with Kobe years ago with that so-called rape case, whether it was consensual or not with the girl in the hotel. I don't believe she was a minor or anything like that, but it really could have got a lot worse than what it did. But I think because of who Kobe Bryant was, his name, the superstardom, the fame and all that, who he already was and built himself up to be, I feel like that help the situation a lot more. Josh Giddey's situation is like, you're not a star. You're a star caliber type player, not a superstar caliber type player. Haven't won a championship. You're very young in your career. Just really got to the NBA, got your feet wet, really. So not much has happened in your career because you haven't had that long of a career. And those things kind of factor in when teams make decisions and the NBA is making decisions and looking into allegations and things like that of how they're going to reprimand you. And, if John Morant got a 25-game suspension on things that, he did, which, are bad, holding guns and things like that. I mean, he didn't shoot anybody, but he still got 25 games for carrying a gun with multiple offenses. But still, may not be on the level of that. But I mean, it in some people's eyes, it might not be far off, So, I mean, I don't know how it's going to turn out for Josh Giddey. If all in all, I hope he doesn't fall out the NBA or something like that. I hope he still continue to be in the NBA. I think he's a good young player. As I said, I think he's ascending along with OKC, and I really hope the best for him. But if he gets past this, he definitely can't make sure this happens again. Or in a situation that's a highly crazy scenario, hopefully he's not like in love with that girl or something like that. And because if he is, and that could make things that can cause a little bit more turmoil with the situation. So I mean, it could turn turned really, really not good for Josh right now, and things are not looking his way. And, hopefully he gets past it and makes it through this, because it really doesn't look good right now. And with it being all over the news and viral on the internet, and the OKC is looking into the investigation and the NBA is looking into the investigation, it just doesn't sound like something's good going to come out of it, for Josh Giddey. But hopefully it does. And, hopefully, he finds a way to get past it.